and welcome back to this week's tutorial. Now, as you will probably have noticed, that the past 2 weeks I've devoted to creating tutorials for you all about Instagram Lives. Now, the first one, this one, is ideal for people who haven't done a live before and want to know the basic nuts and bolts of how it works. And then what I did last week is I created this video, which is my top 10 tips for creating your live, all the way through from the planning stages to examining your lighting and your setup, as well as looking at the questions that are going to be creating really useful and valuable responses for your audience. So, if you haven't been here before, my name is Tracy Davenport. I'm an Instagram coach, and each week I create and upload free tutorials for you to use your Instagram better. Now, let's get into this tutorial. So the first thing that you need to do is create an advert. Now, when you know that you're going to be going live, say you're going to go live on a Wednesday night. So if I was you, what I would do is create an advert for that. Go into Canva, create an advert, and post it not only to your grid, but to your stories. And that way people will be able to see that you have a live happening with a fascinating interviewee that they just cannot miss. So they're going to know that it's going to happen. Now, not everybody is going to be available at the time that you're going to be going ahead with your live. So you have your interview at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday night. It goes brilliantly, and at the end of it, you can save it to your device. Now, if you forget to do this, don't worry. I have an awesome fix for that. It is a brilliant hack. Now, if you own an iPhone, the software is already loaded into the phone for this, and you can do what's called screen recording. And if you don't own an iPhone like me, I have a Samsung. So what I have done is I've actually downloaded an app so that I can screen record anything that I want to. So what I can then do is, once I've finished my interview and I'm like, duh, I forgot to download that to my device, I can go into a quiet room. Sorry, my bangles are really noisy. I can go into a quiet room and I can screen record it from the very beginning right through to the end. So as we know, when you do a live and you choose for it to go onto your stories, it's going to stay up there for 24 hours. So that gives you a whole 24 hours to find a nice quiet place in a corner of the house, away from the family and the dogs and the kids and all of the various distractions that there are, even road traffic noise. And then what you can do is you can sit down and do a screen recording. Now, bear in mind, when you do create a screen recording, it records everything that's going on around you. So if you live next to a busy road and you have loads of motorbikes or trucks going by, you're going to hear that in your recording. So maybe go hide in a cupboard or somewhere where it is quiet for you to do this. So we've got our live, it's on our profile, on our stories for 24 hours. We've then screen recorded it. We can take that screen recording, put it into our editor, and chop out all of the bits and pieces that you just don't need, like the fluffy bit at the beginning that, isn't relevant to the interview. So you can chop that down, the time when you're waiting for your interviewee to arrive. You can cut out any long pauses. You can cut out bits that aren't relevant. Sometimes, there's always a period of a bit of chit chat in the beginning where people are kind of settling into the interview and getting comfortable with one another. Now, you don't necessarily need to show that again for your audience. So you need to choose and be very selective about the pieces that you are actually going to keep and save within this recording. Now, I have talked many times about the 15-minute rule of how long you have for an IGTV. So if you have a massive account, then yes, Instagram is going to give you more than 15 minutes. But in all honesty, who's going to sit there for more than 15 minutes and watch your recording unless it is stellar? So what you need to do is try and condense it down to 15 minutes. I know. I am like the queen of the 15-minute video. I push it out as long as I can because I have so much content information that I'm trying to get across to people. Maybe I should just do smaller segments. But what I find is that frequently people are dipping in and out and extracting the information that they need and then moving on to the next thing, which is fine. As long as I can help people and provide them with some answers and resources, I'm happy. And maybe it'll be the same for you and your live. So maybe people won't sit and watch the whole thing, but they will extract the important pieces that are valuable to them. We keep it to one episode of 15 minutes or less. Less if you can, but you've got to be ruthless to do that. After you have edited your video down, what you need to do is head back to a video that I created a few weeks ago, which is this one, which will teach you all about going into Canva and creating an awesome thumbnail, which is then going to go on your grid. It's going to be on brand. It's going to look brilliant. So when you've created your thumbnail, you attach that to the front of the video and then you upload it to your IGTV. There are two great ways of maximizing all of the hard work that you have put in to creating your live interview that is valuable to your audience. But I have one last and very useful tip. Okay, are you ready for the last, and of course it's the most valuable tip, that you've done your live, a couple days later, you post the live IGTV onto your grid, and then I'd say maybe 3 days later, use the thumbnail that you created to be the cover of your IGTV, post it to your stories, and create a swipe up so that people can watch the IGTV again because it is already sitting in your folder.
So I've uploaded my client's video to my IGTV to advertise her work, as you can see, but I have not uploaded it to my grid, as you can see there. So what I'm going to do is just go to my home page and I'm going to go through and upload as if I was just creating a regular story. Now this is the cover to her video, which I'm going to use. Now you can write in text and add hashtags. To create a swipe up on your stories, because I've already uploaded the IGTV into my IGTV, what I need to do is go to this little chain icon at the top of the page, tap that, choose my IGTV video, which is this one, and then hit the tick. Alright, so now it's telling me that I need to add a call to action, which I do by tapping on the smiley face and typing in swipe up. Here we go. Alright, and there's tons of them here. I like that one. And I do often add a couple, so I might put this one. So we'll move one here and one there, so you can get the message. Alright. Now, what I can do is maybe add some music. Add to your stories. Alright, so then what I can do is I can go to my profile.
Okay, so how was that? It was great, wasn't it? So, if you want to maximize all of the hard work that you're putting into creating your lives, these are the 3 simple steps to maximize all of your hard work. Now, I hope you found that useful. And if there's anything that you would like me to create a tutorial about, do, of course, let me know. Now, we are on to how do you like my dress? I love this dress. I love it much more than I liked last week's. I really like the cowl neck. I like the batwing sleeves. It's kind of goldy, shimmery, and it, of course, has shoulder pads, which I love. And so I am definitely keeping this one. If anybody liked my dress from last week, although lots of you did seem to like it, it's just not me. So if anybody wants it, do let me know. Okay, so is it me or am I the only one that feels like it's Groundhog Day out there at the moment?
Groundhog time.
1,000 people freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat.
Every day seems to be really rolling into the next, and I can't really differentiate one from another. Just seems like every day I'm doing the same thing and I'm having the same struggles. I swear I need a bit of a break from this. But one of the great things that I have decided to treat myself to, and it has made me feel so much better about lockdown. And honestly, I was doing okay in the beginning, but then I took a bit of a slump, which, I think many people are. But one of the things that has really helped me is that I promised myself that I was going to set aside time to watch a series. I know, how naughty is that? But, being the only female in the house, apparently I didn't have the right equipment to make the decisions on what the family could watch. So I was sneaking off to bed early. Now, these are a few of my great top tips of TV series to watch in lockdown. Now, this may not be of interest to you, but I have to say it has really helped me. And you have, I'm sure, seen a few of them already, but there will be ones that you probably haven't. So for sure, check them out if you're looking for something good to get square eyes with. So the first one, I spoke about this a few weeks ago, was Normal People. And it's on iPlayer. And if you haven't seen it, it's excellent. It's really, really good. So that was the first series that I kind of treated myself to. And I enjoyed it so much that I thought, right, I'm going to keep this up. So then the next series that I actually went in and watched was Fleabag. I had seen the first series ages ago, and the second series is on iPlayer, so I went in and watched that. Fleabag is awesome, and if you haven't seen it, you probably have. Maybe I'm just a little bit late to the party. Woo! But it is excellent. Again, fantastic viewing, and really took me to another place. Another series that I can also highly recommend, and it's not like it's not like fantasy, it's quite serious, but it is fantastic. It is called Unorthodox, and it's about a woman within the Jewish community, the Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox community in New York. Really well worth watching. I have had a lot of Jewish friends all of my life, and I learned so much more about the Jewish community from watching this, that I love learning about different cultures. So if you like that sort of thing, then definitely watch it. It was excellent. And finally, and this is a shout out to one of my best friends who we've been friends with since we were 7, Helen Clifford Ringwood. Yes, you musical queen. I knew this would be right. This is so up your street, but thank you so much for the awesome recommendation. It is Hollywood.
Hooray for Hollywood. That's gooey ballyhooly Hollywood. Where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking pan. And any shop girl can be a top girl if she pleases the tired businessman. Hooray for Hollywood! You may be homely in your neighborhood.
To be an actor, see Mr. Factor, you make your kisser look good.
Go out and try your luck, you may be Donald Duck. Hooray for Hollywood!
Hollywood. It is fantastic. I started watching it 2 nights ago. Very, very worth a watch. Now I saw the thumbnail for that on Netflix, and I just passed right by it because it just looked boring. But go in and take a look. So those are Tracy's top tips for TV over lockdown. I hope you like it, and let me know if you watch any of them. I'd love to know. I'd love to know what you think of them, see if they're any good. And if you have any good tips for TV series for me to watch, I want to hear all about it, because I don't think Hollywood is going to last long, because I am going to zip right through it. Anyway, I hope that today's tutorial has been interesting and of use to you on some level. Now, I hope you like my dress. I love it. And I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. So thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.